whatever, the rough kind of general topic.
Questions on that.
Oh,
Not very.
I got a new phone, so I didn't really.
I got an old phone, I just didn't read it.
I put it on like yesterday. No.
I just didn't read it.
I love the honesty.
I didn't read it.
Okay, I see it,
I
yeah.
didn't read that.
I see it. Is it these questions?
Yeah. Just take a quick glance at it, just so you have a rough idea.
Let's see. I feel like sometimes in cameras and false advertisement, man, make you look better than what you really are.
Oh, no, you guys look good in real life.
I want to go into that big boy that lied to me.
I didn't like the way I looked last time. I was like
It looks
watching
nice,
myself, I
though.
was criticizing myself. Every this is where this time I came with the sweat in it. The pop. Dripping in souls.
Actually, legit reading all the questions.
Yeah, I'm just like glancing
Just
through
looking
it.
in it.
Let me see.
Oh shit, so what are we doing? So friendship, dating, marriage.
So it's basically relationships.
We're gonna be asking like a few questions from each category, from friendship, dating, and marriage.
I have no idea.
Are you gonna pick up the key questions?
I don't know. I'm just,
So
we're
basically,
just gonna talk.
Let's go in the feelings.
We're just gonna
Yeah.
talk. You know what I mean?
You got
Freestyle.
more lenses.
No, I at least expected someone to have written about it somewhere, you know, thing.
That was one book.
So I literally
One
I was
book?
asking people. Oh yeah, apart from that one book,
Yeah.
I was asking people, and most of the
That
guys
means-
were saying, oh, they want a good girl. Or
What does that
whatever.
mean?
What
Yes,
is-
I
what does
said,
that
what
mean?
does that mean, girl? And I.
He wants what?
He wants a woman like younger than him, preferably
Yeah, that's
17,
what it is.
18, and I was
17, 18.
I'm like,
old is he?
why? He
How
was
old is
like, at the time he was like 24.
Okay.
Okay, I
What's
think
gonna
that's
do with the
not.
19?
No, but
But I think that's the whole idea. He wants to mold her.
Oh, he wants to build her into
Yeah.
his image.
Yeah.
But for me, that's like a control issue. I feel like that's just
But it's
controlling.
not real. And then it's
That's
like
the
if you want to take somebody that
Kind of
young,
it helps.
it's like this person's going to develop, they're going to change like from 17 to 27
By the
to
time that
27.
Friday, yeah. Then what do you do when she starts developing out her mind?
Yeah, exactly.
You get a second wife? Is that what you're saying?
I guess.
But then how many uncles do we know who have a second wife? As
Yeah,
well?
Jeanette.
Yeah,
Just
but the
like,
reason
they
for
take
it
a
is.
girl from the village and then they have like their wife at home.
But originally, that whole second wife thing was for population, because obviously in the village you need people in order to like do the farming and stuff. That's not necessarily the case now.
Yeah.
If you live outside of the village and you live in the cities, is that your one or two?
Do you think that's what it was?
Of course,
A
that's what it
population
was.
thing. I thought it was
100%.
just.
You know, there's a lot more women in South Sudan than there are men. A lot more.
How do you know that?
Because well, a lot of the
Where's the statistics?
How come
A lot of
my
men
dad?
were killed with like during
How come my dad?
Right, you should go on, Grace.
I was like,
How come my
show me
dad-
the receipts.
No, okay, for my personal grace, come. Let me
I'll blow your face out.
Alright, let me give you.
I'll blow your face out.
Grace, come.
You need to join us, man. It's just friendly
Is this
conversation.
actually filming still?
Yeah, this is me filming, not gonna lie. Because I like to see your
hold on.
interaction.
You know what?
and shit.
Let me give you some. Let me give you just from my personal, just let's say my friends or people within my age group between 30 and 35. If you're in, has it turned shade, boy? I was go calendar. It's like I can take
But
it.
every time she says it, you react. It's so funny because you're like,
Yeah. 'Cause I'm not quite there yet. Psychologically, I'm not there. I'm not there, man. I'm not there. Just go a bit. But anyway, alright, like she's saying, half of the people, let's say, during the war or whatever, that's one population. Well, actually, let's just take that way. Let's come to the UK or Canada or diaspora. Within, obviously, the community. This is for women in general, for black men. A big population are in prison, massively.
inside Sudan? Or just
No,
in general?
both. Let's just say both. Some are in prison for women in terms of women.
That's true.
Some are in prison. Some are bums, straight up. There's nothing they can do to contribute and help to that girl.
Within a
They
relationship.
can't. Yeah, within a relationship. Other half are immature. I'm not like obviously. I'm just. This is the reality of what it is. It's not only South Sudanese men. This is just generally men in general.
Yeah.
So you take all that into consideration. Some might not be able to support you financially, or don't have a job, or whatever. So you take all that into consideration. Now you're picking. You've only got out of 100. You probably only got 25 to pick from.
No, because I've heard like some South Sudanese women like they don't I've been hearing lately is like some girls are like our age or a bit younger, they don't care too much if they are second wife or third wife. It's like
Yeah,
just
but
said-
no.
but
You know why they say that? They say that specifically to people who have resources.
that's what I'm about to say.
So if you're-
yeah,
if
that's
you're-
that's what I was about to
if
say.
you're-
Is that if you're a
If you're a little
productive
bit
person,
older, yeah, if you're a little
if you're
bit
able
older
to
and you've got money,
provide,
yeah,
fair enough,
obviously.
yeah, maybe, but obviously, yeah.
Because for them it's a win-win. They get married, they do whatever, they have their kid, they got a little boyfriend on the side, and life is good. What do you think?
Side chick, being the side chick.
Yeah, of course.
It's a glorified position for some reason. Interesting.
Oh, that's my opinion.
And you know,
Canada, you're quiet, man.
a lot of the women, they go with men that can take care of them, even when it's old. The man's pretty much older.
Yeah.
They don't care as long as he can take care of you. And some of them, I was talking to my cousin the other day, and some men, they when their brother's wife dies,
Yeah, you have to
or
step in.
yeah,
That's a cultural thing.
yeah,
right?
so
You have to step in and marry.
Ghost marriage.
Because that's what my uncle did.
Ghost marriage.
My uncle, my
Yeah.
my dad's nephew left his wife, so then my dad's brother went to go marry. Not married, but they had kids together.
Yeah.
But they always had a secret relationship with each other.
Yeah, because that's
So it's just like, so he's like,
But, yeah.
you left her, so now
But
I
that's
can
a
come in
unique,
and
but
I
that's
can
a
come
unique
and take
situation.
over.
Though. Usually it's just because she needs to have kids. She's married into the family. They've given her cows, so she needs to have kids.
Giving her
naturally.
cows.
but then it's,
I'm talking about traditionally. I'm just trying to get back to where it comes from, isn't it?
but then it's like, where does it start and where does it begin? Does it start where this is a duty that you're doing and where this is actual relationship?
Because the customs over there are different to the customs
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
Like
Completely.
she can be like, okay, cool, all right, he's died, my husband's died, I can just go find somebody else. But naturally, the family don't want to let that go. They don't want to let go of that
Yeah.
tradition.
The thing is, it's seen as like an honorable thing. If you're like, because my granddad did it. His brother died, so he took on his like brother's wife
and the kids.
So
Yeah.
he took care of them. So it's seen as like a sign of respect.
Yeah.
But that's back in South Sudan. I don't know what other African countries like do the same. But in the UK, that would be seen as like.
No,
Terrible.
it just
Yeah,
won't
of
work
course.
because there's like infrastructure that can support it back home compared to here. Like
Yeah.
in a whole new environment, so
Yeah, it's really
it wouldn't
different.
work.
But I feel like, see those traditions in South Sudan, the reason why they still kind of like exist today is because we were in war for so long. South Sudan is relatively untouched by like the Western world. So the influences, so we still have such a traditional mentality in comparison. So I don't know if you guys know,
Yeah,
we
well, no,
have like a very traditional mentality, that very like old school, very, and it's like our generation is probably the first one
Yeah.
that's like experiencing something else.
Outside
Yeah.
of that,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's
That's
just
culture.
we're just changing the culture shift. It's the first time.
Yeah, the first generation.
Even like
We're
still-
the first generation.
Kind of like my mom and that, like the things they do and the way they talk, it's like they're still back at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't change
Nothing
that,
has
though.
changed.
Yeah,
No,
you can't
I don't
change
want
it,
to,
yeah.
but nothing has changed.
I think that's where the conflict comes. Is like they're trying to apply stuff from a certain time and a certain place onto us, and it's like we have a completely new experience because we're a fusion basically
yeah.
of here and there.
You're a hybrid.
And it just kind of becomes a bit frustrating when they don't really recognize that.
Yeah.
Some do
that's the
though. You got to
conflict.
give some credit. Some parents do.
They
Some
do,
parents
yeah.
try to be as progressive as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can adapt. Some things are positive, and then obviously there's some things that you just can't pick up here because it's not.
Yeah,
It's
so
not a black
practical.
thing. Full stop.
And you know, a lot of uncles just get up and leave for jobs and end up getting second wives and whoever, like,
Some.
Yeah, some do.
quite a few
Some do.
actually.
Some.
Actually, you know, actually quite a few to be
Quite a
fair.
few.
She's right.
And most of the
Quite
answers
a
are
lot,
just
though.
left, yeah.
But okay, you know what? Yeah, from just if you kind of take it for them, like let's say when they start leaving, that was like what maybe in the last 10 years, for example. All of a sudden now they're working in, let's say, the UK, and you're working a job that pays you 30 grand a year, and now you've got a job offer that pays you 300,000 a year, for example. Naturally, you don't want to be working here where you're under somebody's thumb all the time. They don't mind going back to earn that. Their intention.
But does that mean you have to go back and get another wife?
No, you don't have to, but that's a personal choice. What I'm saying is, a lot of them they've got married, they've got second wives and stuff, because obviously they're there for a long period of time. But some of them either take their wives over there, or they just go back and forth. You know what I mean? But that's a very small percentage. But I understand from what you said, a lot of people do go back. They get second wives, third wives, whatever. Because it's the first time a lot of people have got money.
Yeah.
When you have that kind of money in a short period of time, it changes people.
Yeah.
Because you feel untouchable. You're in a country, there's no one that can tell you anything. All your friends are around you, and you start to you start to do things that your surroundings are. And that's what it is.
So that means
No,
that,
but that's what
like,
happens though.
can the wife then, who they've left behind, can she go around and then go find herself a new husband?
Yeah.
The thing is, that's double standards. Yeah, it's double standards. It's double standards. It's double. If she does, I wouldn't blame her. If she said, "Oh, my husband's gone," whatever, I
you
wouldn't
would blame her, but you're obviously like more open-minded than most people in our community, because then they would accuse her and they'd guilt her and make her feel really bad. Like, you left
They
your
would
husband,
shame
you
her,
did
yeah.
shame her
Yeah.
for no reason.
Because
that's
socially,
a big issue.
because socially, like obviously, men having multiple wives in our culture is accepted.
Yeah.
It's not like here. If you're in the UK and you went and got married, it will be mayhem.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
true.
So you got to kind of like what they most of the women, I guess, then when they got married, they knew that, or their dad had 2-3 wives, or their brothers have got 3-4 wives. So it's the norm, it's the custom that your husband at some point might go have a second wife or third wife. So they knew that from the get-go.
Traditionally, when you have multiple wives, it's like a sign of your status.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
fair.
so
Well,
exactly, it's like the more wives you have, the more impressive it is.
Yeah, the more money you got.
But I wonder if
Because
they
she can
would
take
have-
care of everybody?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
because
No.
you're like, do you know what? I'm a boss.
No, but generally
I
that's what
have
it is.
3 wives.
But
My
think about
granddad
it.
had 3 wives.
But if you have that many wives,
Our grandfather.
yeah,
sorry
so
to
many.
interrupt.
This guy was, he was milking the system, yeah.
No,
He
but
had, our grandfather had
I don't know, it was too much.
22 wives.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was.
Like me, I have 7 grandmothers. My mom's dad has 3 wives, and my dad's dad has 4. But like,
You're from a wood, wouldn't you expect?
I've never heard anyone say that in my life. I have 7 grandmothers.
Yeah, I accept all of them. You know, I accept all of them.
Mad.
no, but I think
Like,
when families are that big, it kind of leaves room for people to be like neglected. I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Because
yeah.
I feel.
That's the downside of it.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the times, from what I've seen of those types of marriages where there's so many kids and wives,
Yeah, the kids are
there's
neglected,
always some sort of drama,
Yeah, of course.
confusion, people are
Confusion,
neglected,
drama.
some
They have
strays
lots of
away.
politics.
You've got one
in that
person
family.
who's got to pay attention to 4 women and he's got, let's say, 15, 20 kids. Some, and the age range are
But you know
massive.
that allow them to go have like a foursome. Let them go
Ah.
the community. You know, let them just enjoy it.
Yeah, you're doing the most. Yeah, you're doing the most.
Let them all just like
Nah, you got.
let them
You're
play with each other. Honestly.
No.
I feel like this it would really work though.
No,
Like
I've heard of distant uncle, like he had, I think 3 wives and all sleep in the same room.
they also do. They have
And
like enjoy
they get a bit
each
thrifty,
other, right? Like your kids are all siblings.
How did you hear that?
So why
From
not,
my
like,
uncles,
you
they
know,
told me,
why not
it's
go
like-
enjoy each other in the bedroom so then the connection with your kids can be more stronger.
I think
And then
the kids
connection in the
are.
household
I think
too.
the kids are usually okay. It's usually like the women and the men. That's what.
But no, but then sometimes the like say your brother's mom,
Yeah.
she'll come and give you like a hard time because you're not hatching her child, you know?
Yeah, that's
so
a big one.
that's why I say
That's
like
true.
if you want to have a big family like that,
Yeah.
at least
Share the love.
go
Share the love.
go and embrace each other in the
Share
bedroom
love.
and go learn one another, you know, in a private
In a private setting,
you know?
huh?
But then sometimes
I don't know.
I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Oh,
There's nothing
But-
wrong with it.
that's a progressive way of seeing that. A lot of people can't. A lot
Our
of people
parents
can't
are not
even-
that progressive, man.
Yeah, no.
They don't even accept, a lot of people don't even accept
Honestly,
people
you guys,
being gay, let alone like
no.
foursomes.
I
or
feel
whatever.
like
They don't accept any of
I
that.
feel like they've done it before, but they don't want to speak on it.
I really don't think
Who
so.
does?
I
Who
feel
says
like-
that? But
I
who would
feel
say
like our
that?
parents have done
I
something
really,
like that.
I really
No,
don't think so.
I
heard-
feel
I
like
don't
it.
know, man.
I don't know about that one.
Because
Like,
Maybe the new school
No,
ones,
but the thing is
the old
because some
school
of these
ones.
women are actually very open-minded. Like I feel like some like my aunties, have met. They've been very like like oh I'm so sexy like like their personalities I see and I'm just like I think maybe you guys have all done something with each other before like.
No, but
Maybe.
also, but also I think when it's like so
I
many
think
different
so.
vibes, I
I
think
don't-
some
you know,
people
it's
also
because I don't
step
want
out
it
as
for
well. I heard like people like stepping out as well, because especially when there's a husband who's kind of old, a particular age.
Yeah.
if they have a wife
Slow
who's
down.
like, I don't know, 30 years younger, they don't necessarily mind if they step out. And
What, have a
get-
boyfriend?
That's a personal. That's
I've
like
heard
a,
stories like that before.
Yeah.
Where you hearing your stories, bro? You gotta share the sources,
I've been hearing
bro.
people, man. That's the-
I know. It's like that.
No, that's the thing. I've been in Nairobi, so that's the thing also.
When you're in Africa,
Because I think some of us come from parents who were living there in the 80s and 90s and 70s compared to people now that I've met who pretty much have been around South Sudan most of their lives. So, you know, things are changing and people, I guess, are becoming a bit more open to certain things. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I think we are quite lucky. Like, Southern Sudanese culture is strict in some regards, but very open in others.
Yeah.
Like my mom, like if I tell her like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm gonna go party. Like they enjoy a party. They enjoy like everyone getting together and having fun. And I think we're lucky in that regard, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why the war happened, isn't it? Because
Do you know, I think it's the like Arab Sudanese that put on a lot of things that
Yeah.
are not part of our culture.
Yeah.
They just come and called it culture when it's not. It's just
There's
a lot of
still is,
Islamic rules that like restricted us
But
from living our lives.
but they're so connected that it's difficult to separate the two. That's the thing. It's been so connected for so long that there's just some customs. Like there's certain words. Like growing up, I used to think, sure, these are Dinka words, and then I grew and I was like, hold on a minute, what's going on here? I went to Egypt and they realized there's no actual Dinka words for certain things. So it's an Arabic term for it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then you start to figure it out as you get a little bit older.
Yeah, it's
But I think certain groups of South Sudanese are more in close proximity to North Sudanese than others.
Yeah.
So like what you're saying, like some people might not have that same interaction.
So I've grown up with them. Like I've grown up with people in the north. So
Did you?
for me, I'm cool with them. I've got aunties that are.
Did you grow up in Juba or like Khartoum?
I never even went to Juba until it became independent.
So then,
Anything out of the city.
so then what's your
that's
guys' own point of views on marriage then? Like marrying an Arab?
I don't know that Arab.
Like
They're
Arab Sudanese, like whatever you want to call
Muslim
it.
Sudanese.
Muslim Sudanese. Like,
What's your views on it?
yeah, like
I
That's
don't
already
know.
happened in my family, so I don't know how
Is
to
it?
handle it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it would be okay for me in my family to do so, but because of what like my parents had gone through,
Yeah.
like the kind of like the persecution, whatever.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
No, because I'm just thinking about
Yeah,
just,
like,
I think my feelings are too strong for like I would have conflict. It's like I would have conflict with the I couldn't even imagine it because there would be conflict from jump because of how I feel about what they did to South Sudan and stuff and what they're still doing in the Nuba Mountains in Darfur. So for me personally, I could definitely.
But then it's not like an individual
because-
thing. It's not as if you'll meet someone and it's not them that's personally doing it. I get what you're saying.
That's the thing because
It's
I've got
not
lots
them
of friends
personally.
that have nothing
Yeah.
to do with whatever. But
and you don't want to be around like in-laws who might, you know, just side
that's the
comment
thing.
here and there.
That's the thing. It's just the people that I'm friends with that are more open-minded, but they talk about their families and they are not with. They still talk shit about us. Well,
But I feel like if I were to bring like a Muslim boy home and say I'm gonna marry him, my family wouldn't accept him because of what happened in between Sudan and South Sudan. Like
There's a lot of South Sudanese Muslims, you know.
Are there?
So
I
many.
just know my family. They wouldn't. I don't think they would accept it personally.
But then again, I don't know if some of them converted based on certain circumstances or
because they have
certain,
to.
because they have to, or
a lot of people converted because they it just got them a better job and stuff.
Finance.
It got them better jobs and they got them a house.
They'll give you money as well.
So they give you money. So you get to work for the government and
we got you recording.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fine, you go to work, we're like, I'm so hot.
Yeah, it's hot, isn't it?
Shut the door.
Open the door.
But are your uncles Muslim though?
No, not Muslim.
No.
No, he's married to a Muslim woman. Might be their second or third wife or whatever, but he just got married to them. And
But how was he with her family?
cool, man. From what I see, anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, from the surface, growing up, everything was okay.
Yeah.
But that's my experience,
Yeah,
innit?
of
So
course,
I can only talk by how they treated me, my uncle's wives and stuff, and obviously some of my cousins and stuff from Khartoum. But I can only talk from that. I understand the history and stuff. I understand that, but obviously them individually, obviously can't put that on them because it's not them.
Yeah.
But there are people from that area that have caused obviously heartache and pain and so on.
But yeah, even with like South Sudanese getting with British people, I mean, obviously the British did colonize us, so if we could tolerate that, I guess we can tolerate them.
True.
Maybe, I don't know.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's different experiences, isn't it?
Like a lot of people didn't want to separate. Also, my friends would like be like, they're so really upset that we
from the north of the
from the north.
Yeah, but
really
because they don't understand, they don't understand why we want to
That's because they weren't affected. There may be a generation where they didn't experience any of that stuff.
Exactly.
So
But then that's the problem, is like, even if it's not at your front door, at the very least, we're all the same people within the same country. What you're feeling is what I should be feeling as well. So it's like, if you're numb to that, then why am I going to stick around?
Like, when all this revolution stuff happened, we're going way off the topic. When all this revolution stuff happened, like, lots of people that were like, they started changing to the colour blue, and they got really like emotional about it, and I just had like no feelings about it whatsoever, even though it's like, obviously it's lives, I've got family still living in Khartoum, whatever, so it was like, but then I didn't know how to feel because I didn't understand what they were revolting for.
That's it with me. Like at first, I was very emotional about it when the whole thing happened in Sudan because I was born in Khartoum, you know, like this is like my hometown, you know. But then after, when I was really thinking about it, I was just like, I'm like, but they've slaughtered millions and millions of my people of my color.
Yes.
So it's like, and they didn't even start anything to even Blake and I just be like, oh, please pray for South Sudanese people. Nothing. They didn't even like try to start any sort of like charity or like funds just to come and help us. But then now that you guys, it's happened to you, your own government is doing it to you guys. Now you guys want like the whole world just to be like bowing down to your feet, like crying for you and doing all this and like sending all this loads of money to you guys and this is like, and I'm just like, should I really feel bad? Because what goes on really does come around. So like,
you like feel bad, but then at the same time, it's like a double standard.
It is double standard because I feel like the ones that are feeling the consequences and the stuff that's happening there, they're always the innocent people.
It's always the people that are like lower class and stuff that are really affected by what's going on.
But everybody
else, like the people I used to hang out with,
they want money.
Everybody's like loaded and like they've got drivers and all types of stuff. They all live in a bubble. Nothing affects them. They live in that bubble. So then when they see when I would be posting stuff about the Nuba Mountains, South Sudan, they will ignore everything. And the minute
it affected them, then they piped up.
Yeah. So speaking on friendship, like, I mean, like, do you still talk to these friends from like north or?
A few of them, but and they know my feelings. I'm very vocal on my social media.
What about everybody else?
Has what happened recently affected your friendship?
Yeah, a lot of them. I've argued with quite a few people.
Okay.
Because they're like, oh no, we're all one. You don't understand. Like, you're taking it to. What do you mean? I'm taking it to which extreme? Like, I don't understand why you aren't phased when people were having bombs dropped on them constantly, and you weren't phased. Like, they did not blink. Nobody would. You know, I'm from the Nuba Mountains, and I'm posting a bomb just dropped. At least like they're like, oh my god, like, and it's in your country. Nothing.
No, I've heard the term, no one cares until it happens to them.
That's
self-interest, no one cares until it happens to them, you know, until it happens.
I've never had any North Sudanese friends, to be honest. None.
What, here in the UK or just
London, none.
Okay.
Yeah, actually in Edinburgh there's a huge Sudanese community, like huge, but they're all from the north. And there's a particular lady, she is so kind, she's from the north, she's like Arab, like straight hair, like light skin, whatever, but one thing I really like about her is she doesn't care like about the difference. And my grandmother, she treats my grandmother like her own mother. And it's like, I don't know, it's like a bit of a rare thing because the other Sudanese.
But I don't think it's rare. I don't think it's rare. No, it's not.
He's right.
I think
Is it?
No, they have some of them in London as well, and
they're like that
yeah,
because like think about it, a lot of them have grown up with us for so long. The ones that are 30, 40, 50, 60, they've grown up, they've been with us since they were kids. So how can you hate somebody that you've been with for such a long period of time? And it's probably the same in cartoons as well. We've been there for so long that we're woven in, you're intermarried, you're woven into society so much that it's difficult. I think it's more as when you start going up the chain and it starts to become classism, because like, if you've got loads of money, you're not really gonna affect. You're not really gonna be affected what's going on in cartoon.
Let me ask you guys something. If you were to bring home someone from the north and say, I'm gonna marry this person, how do you think your parents or your family would react?
Well, if they're Nuba, it's fine.
Only if they're
See, that's now you're
only if they're Nuba.
That's discrimination, no?
I don't think my mom would really care. I think it's mostly my dad and my uncle who have a lot of input.
In which way?
I think it's maybe because you're their daughter.
You can't do that. That's not right to go marry like a Dinka person or this and that. So like they'll be like standoffish. But they already know I'm like the crazy one in the family. Like I don't care what no.
But again, obviously,
saying,
within our community, there is double standards. Like,
completely.
The men are free to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
The girls are expected to get married to Sudanese people, or at least not Sudanese, somebody of African descent, and then you can go out. That's what I see. Where of us do whatever you want.
That's actually what
I feel like I'm extremely biased though, because I would just prefer black in general, so I'm just biased in the whole thing. That question.
That's literally what I was going to ask you, because you're saying you think it's because she's their daughter, so they're going to be more defensive. But did you have an issue? Because I know your wife's from Ghana. Did your parents care? Did anyone care that she was from a different country altogether?
No, really. She was nice, and just like her family's quite like really respectful, and my mom was cool with it.
Ghanaians are very chill.
Yeah, they're really chill. If it was a Nigerian,
they're very nice. If it was a Nigerian, no offense,
but she was.
My mom's like, please don't.
I think my parents would be like that. Actually, my parents wouldn't actually care. But it's just me.
To be fair though,
I think the thing is, I think you do it and then they'll make some noise, but then after a while,
they'll just get over
it's your life at the end of the day. So.
But they're all about respectable families and stuff.
And I think because Ghanaians are generally quite humble, very respectful. So for them, it fits into our culture. If it was
the dowries process the same?
It's exactly the same. Yeah, obviously. It's kind of far to go from a wood to Ghana. Trip is kind of long though. That trip is kind of long. You gotta go up to Egypt and go across. They won't make it, man. They won't make it. So only option, she's like, maybe you can chop up the cows and put meat in the freezer and contain it and send it. I was like, that won't work. So
chop up the cows.
I don't know what else can you do. And also, if you take them there, their family lives in the city. So the family live in the city.
So you just pay with money then?
Just so whatever the equivalent was.
Anything goes.
Yeah, so whatever the equivalent is, you just pay that.
Because I heard that's what's happening also in South Sudan. It's like instead of paying cows, people just pay money.
Because if you live in the city, what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
You live in an apartment and you got 50 cows outside in a car park, just one bit. Like, hey yo, hey, come. Come on, man.
They're just be split amongst the family and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you guys think if you're gonna
the cows and stuff, obviously split between everybody in the family?
I think traditionally that's kind of how it is, isn't it?
So now it's just not practical. Like everyone's from different parts of the world.
Unless your family's like in South Sudan, if you've got a parent or uncles in South Sudan, and obviously you can do that, and then your extended family will basically reap the rewards while you're living outside here in your apartment.
That's really
I think
crazy.
that's what puts me off about the whole thing.
Or you get it and you sell it and keep the money. That's the only way, because cows are expensive.
True.
It's so expensive. It's expensive.
Is it like $500 for
anywhere between
one cow?
$500 to $1,000 a cow.
That's what puts me off about the whole thing. It's just that whole
It's expensive.
thing.
You gotta take loans. Some people pay in installments. Like legit. Some
Do you
people.
guys think it's a good thing to have diaries? Do you guys think it should still be relevant?
No, now it shouldn't be. Originally it was because naturally everybody you're there. That's how that's your wealth, isn't it?
Do you know? I think the parents collecting money and giving it to you is a good idea, so you can start your new life. I don't understand why they're taking the money.
Giving it to these relatives.
I'm giving you my prized possession, my child. Literally, that's what they think. Like, I'm giving you my child.
But do you know what?
Like
to be fair, what you say, like when I got married, like the same thing, like all the money that we gave to the family, they collected it and just gave it to my wife.
Yeah, that's what
happened when my sister got married. Just go do whatever you need. Yeah, just go do whatever you need to do with it, because obviously as a family we don't need it, and kind of move ahead. But they live in the city and so on.
So then what was really the point of you giving them the money in the first place?
It was just out of tradition and respect as well. It's a really
symbolic.
good sign. Respect is symbolic. My
But
grandmother.
also it doesn't come from me directly. It comes from, let's say, my uncles, my dad, and whatever. We give their
so
family.
from like all the other males from your
other
line.
males,
Okay.
and then they'll give it to their fathers. And
Is it right that it's like males doing it? Like, is that?
well, traditionally, the males are the ones that were the breadwinners. The women weren't.
Yeah.
Now it's different. Now it's equal. So now it's different. So you can go up and give your money if you want. But I guess originally they were the ones that were making money. So naturally they're the ones that support the family. So.
Do you think you guys, if I know you're married, but if you were to get married, you would still ask for some sort of diary?
Of course.
100%.
Yeah? Of course.
100%. If she's got brothers and cousins and stuff, they'll definitely ask for it.
How much are you gonna, how much are you gonna ask
Your
for?
price is
What are you
different
gonna ask
based on
for?
what your assets are.
Of course, like
What assets are we considering here?
No, I'm talking now, like, let's say,
some people like,
how
you get a
smart you
master's,
are.
like-
I think how educated you are, are you self-sufficient, stuff like that, you come from a good family, your stock goes up. Is your dad like contribute to society, your stock goes up.
Stop.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what it is. That's kind of how they'll base
I
it.
just associate with being like exchanged from money. I told my mom I'm not.
But isn't that the whole basis of marriages? Like,
You're leaving one
genetics,
one family
bloodlines.
to join another family. That's what it is. Naturally, you're leaving
Connecting
because
another bloodline.
you're connecting
Yeah.
bloodline together.
True.
So.
Allegiances with other like groups of
Yeah,
people.
but that's
what it was, though.
That's what it was.
But that's how it was, though.
Yeah, now people want to marry for love. It's not like by force. It's not like arranged marriage anymore. You know.
whoever wants to marry for love is a fool.
Yeah,
She's right.
that's true.
She's
That's
right.
true.
It has to be a million other things.
If
as well.
love comes, great. But
Well, actually, what is love? I actually want to ask you, what is the definition of love? Because I don't know what that means. I have no idea. What is love, Akon? Tell me.
Everyone's love is different, though. Everyone's perspective of love is so different.
What is
I don't know.
I don't
If
know.
I was to look at love, I would think it's my connection with someone, like me being able to be me.
Yeah.
Me being able to be my true, authentic self and not feel worried or judged, and feeling that comfort with someone. Because like I have best friends who like I genuinely love because I can be me. I am there with them. I think it's hard when I'm single, I go on dates and stuff, but it's hard to have that genuine connection. And like, it's not like I don't believe in love anymore, but I also think like it's very hard to find these days. Like we're so disposable.
Yeah.
Like people meet you and it's like Tinder and stuff, like they swipe left. If there's one thing they don't like about you, you're done. But that's not what love should be. You have to, it's accepting you literally for the best and the worst of you. You know what I mean? Like that Marilyn Monroe quote, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. It's true. But we're too easy to dismiss people these days.
Society has set that narrative though. That's what it is. The Western society has.
I think we've been brainwashed with this idea of like Hollywood films, like this perfect person.
That's not real, man.
Who ticks all the boxes. And
But has everyone here been in love?
I'm there.
You're in love, but what about the rest of us?
My definition of love
Is this too
compared
personal?
to you lot is completely
Is this
different.
too personal?
Listen, when you get married, your definition of love is completely different.
Okay, so
That's what I think, anyway.
Why?
So for me, I need to be like spiritually and like
Inclined
mentally connected
To
with the
that
person.
person.
Otherwise, like if you're not on the same wavelength with certain things, and there could be like they'll outweigh your if you're thinking about growth and building.
Yeah.
And like there's so many other things.
Yeah, you have to have the same
and how
values.
yeah, exactly. And how you're gonna bring your kids up, that's very important. You need to talk about that stuff beforehand. Even sex and stuff, you need to be on the same page with a lot of things before I think of it.
That's a good point though.
Because there's no point in like being all like having butterflies and being like, oh my god.
But supposedly when you meet your soulmate, you don't get butterflies. Everything is just so neutral.
Do we have a soulmate though? Is that a real thing?
I think so.
Destined for one person.
Because you know why? Because your soulmate can be your sibling. It could be your parents. It could be like anybody in your life. It doesn't have to be your partner.
But but can't we say there's soulmates plural?
But where does soulmate? Where does that originate from? That's what I'm just trying to find out. Like, where does that come from? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm putting the question now. Okay, it's a soulmate. At what point? I'm sure my granddad didn't say, your grandma's my soulmate. They're not interested in that stuff.
The Western world,
that's what I mean.
Movies and
So soulmate.
Can you guys tell us a bit more about the 22 wives though? How did that work? Like, I don't understand.
What do you mean the 22 wives?
No.
She just said 22.
Grandfather. So
Yeah.
multiple wives.
Okay.
So, just to give you a bit of a narrative, the camera lady is my cousin, so obviously we were the same grandfather and so on, and so our grandfather had multiple wives. 22, I don't know, there's a question mark. It might be 18, it might be 19, I have no idea.
22, right?
It might be, I don't know. But generally, I guess, like, it's almost a status thing.
There's like 4 of them that's still alive, by the way. 3 or 4.
For real?
Yeah, because my mum went to go and visit them. And they all live in the same area, so where my granddad lived.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Where are they? Are they in Japan?
Yeah.
But I think that comes from what she said. It's almost like it's a status thing. I can get married to as many wives as I can. I can afford to look after them. And usually, every time you get married, you got to pay a heavy dowry. So that means your pockets must be kind of heavy. So whatever he was doing,
he was
the
a
granddad, or chief or whatever he was doing.
Chief man.
Chief man, yeah.
Big man.
So whatever he was doing, he must have had resources. Must have been quite wealthy in order to have that many wives and be able to support that many kids. So.
But was it like, does the first wife get to choose the second wife and the third wife too? Do they agree?
I have no idea. But I've heard people say that sometimes like the wives will go and find the wife for the husband. So like, let's say if you two are like first and second wife, you'll be like, you go find a third wife, and you guys have to agree for him basically.
Do you think that's like an old school like open relationship?
I don't know. No, they're married. There's no open relationship. They're married. What do you mean?
It's open though.
How?
Because there's multiple people. It's like
I don't know.
But I think also might come from the help in the household. So it's like you have another woman in the household now who can help with the other chores.
You got 22 people helping, bro. That's
well, then from the 22 women, there's multiple kids. So
yeah. I
think, honestly, I feel like it really comes down to like actually being active in the bedroom. I think, because females actually get tired of like trying to please their man all the time, and their men don't please them back. They're like, I'm over it, I'm tired, like let me go find somebody else who can come and please you now. Give me a break.
But he's old though. He's old.
Like,
he's old, then he's not going to want it that much. He's tired.
He's 70 and he's got a 30-year-old wife. Come on, man. Of course she's definitely got a girlfriend. I mean a boyfriend. That's what I think. You get married for resources, you got a nice house, you'll have kids from him, whatever. But
because that's what kind of mind-boggles me about the whole thing. It's like that would be just too physically demanding.
Yeah, it's so exhausting. I mean, like, I barely have anything for myself and my
But don't men get off until like 70, right?
It never expires.
Never expires. Okay, so like, how about if that man is so active, like his sex drive is just over the roof. He's just like...
Factually, men's sex drive goes down as they get older.
Who told you that?
Goes up.
Who told you that?
My friend.
Is it a friend or man or woman?
My friend told me.
Is he a guy?
It was a woman.
It's a woman. So a woman is telling you another man's sex drive goes down as he gets older.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that.
And that women's sex drives goes up.
But based on what?
So for women, I know
if you said to me an old man said that to you, I'd believe you.
But
if it's a woman who's roughly the same age,
Maybe
don't
she
listen
had
to
a bad
women about
experience, I don't know.
If I've got a question about you lot, I'll ask you about them, and she'll be able to tell me how I can find a solution for women. Problem is that I find is you're not going to other women to try and find a solution for a man. It doesn't work.
It's better to
It's better to ask me about your male issue.
I always ask my male friends. I'm like, oh, I've got a male.
What should I do? He'll give you honest advice.
That's
and
very true.
So, and I think that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, you're chasing two rabbits, man.
Yeah, men and women, we think so differently. Yeah. It's like so bizarre.
But this is why I think it's really good to always have like opposite sex friends and like really like try to build those type of bonds, because especially within the Sudanese. I feel like it's really hard though for the Sudanese men and women to really like befriend each other, because something sexual always pops up. Either one person gets attracted to the other, and then it's like
it becomes too much.
I think that's in friendship in general. Within general, friendship, because one person will always like be more attracted to someone. Like,
so then, what do you prefer like, as a friend in a male? Like, what makes the male in your life like be someone that you hold dear into your heart, like just as a friend?
To be honest, like. The male friends I have, like, we're so close, but it's because I kind of see them as like brothers. It's like the same way I see my cousins. Yeah. But I think also I'm kind of like, not fucking myself over, but like, these guys are such good people to me. Yeah. But I wonder like, could I be in a relationship with you? Maybe not. But I know that some of them, the way they treat me as their friend is better than the way they would treat a girlfriend.
Of course. That's because they care. That's because they care. They actually sincerely care about how you feel. Where with other girls, because that's not really their girl. That's not really their girl. These are they're at a buffet at the moment. Listen, there's a buffet stage in life. That's what it is. That's the honest truth. No, for real. Listen, let me explain to you guys so you understand. There's certain stages.
For us too.
So there's certain stages for men where like I'm just gonna whatever different relationship numbers game. But then there's a point where it's like, okay, that's my girl. I'm gonna do everything I can to make her happy. When a man gets to that point, then you know like he's fully serious.
So what makes a man get to that point?
Okay, there's multiple things. One is he at a certain stage in life? Has he like maybe achieved? Has he finished school? Is he making a certain amount of money? Is he in a certain place in life? Or mentally, has he become mature or so on? Because women generally, like they say, a girl who's 23 is usually the same age as a man who's 33. Generally, that's what they say, because mentally they mature a lot quicker. So men that are a lot younger, if you're the same age as a male, what you want and what he wants are completely different.
Yeah, I also feel like women, we're so emotion driven, and it's like we go into a relationship looking at the love aspect. It's like a fantasy, whereas men, like you said, are more practical. It's like, can I afford to have you in my life? Like men look at things so logically, and women, we look at things with our hearts. And this is where the whole like disconnect comes. Yeah. But so in a relationship, like what do you guys look for in a relationship? What's like your ideal values you look for in
I'll sit back and listen, I might learn something.
For me, I would say communication is number one for me.
Yeah.
The biggest one.
There's
other one,
and like
I think it has to be like an openness in our relationship. Like I'm willing to have somebody else involved.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Like,
hold on.
This is her theme today.
And I'm like,
like an openness. Like I feel like one day we just get like bored of each other. Like, can we bring somebody in and like we both agree on it, regardless if it's a male or like a female. That could be a female. You know. They would have to be very driven and like
conversation with someone.
I'm bisexual, so it's like for me it's like I've always like in the past I've told other men like that I met with and stuff. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I want to have another female involved in our relationship when I get tired of having sex with you, like, and I need someone to come and please me when I'm tired of you trying to please me, because I'd rather have a female do it more than a male, right? So it's just like, so I need that my man to like make sure he has that.
So they will know that off jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something you'll know from the get-go. So if he's with you, regardless, so you'll know that's part of the contract. Really.
So and then the third one would be he would have to be like a very like like soulful, you know, very family, but very like still like modern, like you know, like have the I don't know, it's so hard because it's just
So you
too
want it
much.
to be African and modern at the same time. Have African morals, but still be chill and adapt to the Western world at the same time.
But then again, what makes African models so standard?
No, nothing like, not like that. I don't think that's what she means. I think
More
she
like
means
I want like
be respectful
the same
and
culture.
understand the
Understand culture.
Because do you know if it's somebody that's like from like South Sudanese or whatever, you already know what it is with like family and all of that. You already know the kind of standards.
But I think that's African across the board.
Yeah, Africans.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
I think so. It's like if like there's this level of respect we have for each other, which I admire, but like my friends, they're like, oh, what's your mom's name? I'm like, why do you need to learn hers? Like, they're like, they call my mom Rose by her first name, and it makes me feel so uncomfortable because I'm like, I'd rather you just say auntie. Like something like
white
respect. Yeah.
No black person will ever call your mom Rose.
Don't ever call my mom
It doesn't matter
Rose.
what country you're from, you always say auntie or uncle. But that's an unspoken thing though. Again, like it's different cultures,
things
different
like
ways
that,
of growing up. They're never gonna say. If my friend came to my house and called my mom like by her name, my mom's name's a Yak. Oh, Yak, how you doing? I'm like, yo, nah, bro, it doesn't work that way. But if somebody else who's outside African culture said that, I would understand because naturally that's how they do it in their culture. But if it's somebody else who's African or South Sudanese said that, I'm like, yo, bro.
But I live with my landlady. She's Nigerian, but I call her by her first name. Is that, you guys think that's wrong for me to do? My landlady, she's Nigerian, and I call her by her name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes I want to call her auntie, but I'm like, I don't know if she wants.
Yeah,
Because
that's
sometimes
different though.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
We're just contradicting ourselves now, though.
No, but I think it's good because everyone has different experiences, so that's how.
That's a different relationship. She's like
she's taking
money from you, so you can call her by her name.
But also, but you respect the level of respect that you show her.
It's true. Yeah, she's laughing. It's true.
Yeah, the level of respect you show her. I'm sure even if you don't call her auntie, you treat her like auntie. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what's important. You know what I mean? There's at my work we got a new cleaners and there's one Nigerian lady and she's so kind. Yeah. But it's like I speak to her a lot, but nobody makes the effort to speak to her. Nobody really gets to know her. But
why should they though?
No, but hold on, because she comes to our work and we're there all the time, and we make a mess, like, and she helps us. But we have this nice connection, and her and I get on because I show her respect as like. It doesn't matter if she's a cleaner or who she is. I show her respect as somebody who's older than me, you know. And we always stay late in my office. We work late. We get food. We have drinks, everything. And it's like I feel really bad, like that. It's weird, like because she's an older African woman. Like I'm like, you're here cleaning up after me. Like I feel so guilty every time. So like sometimes I'll just help her a little bit, or I'll pick up stuff for her, or she asks me to do something for her, and I'll always do it. Because I just feel guilty.
But that's maybe because it's your upbringing or how you perceive her. It's like, okay, she could be your grandma, your aunt, your mom or someone. That's why I say if it was somebody else who's from a different heritage, you saw Polish lady or Ukrainian lady, would you feel
would I feel as bad?
But you would know it wouldn't be reciprocal anyway. I think just not jumping, so it wouldn't be received like the way
I think that's probably what it is.
Yes. Conversation
Sorry to burst your bubble.
No, it's fine.
But again, I know obviously I cut you off or whatever, but when like a guy is for you, like you'll know it. Like you'll do everything you can to try and obviously be around you as much as possible. But if he's not for you, you're part of the buffet, unfortunately.
So why do you guys think it's so difficult to get in a relationship these days though? I feel like it's so much harder to get in a relationship these days.
I feel like people just give it out too easily. Everyone's just like, if you want something, you know you have something for it. So like you're like, whatever. Why am I gonna work for something that I already know I can get it like in 5 seconds from now? So it is.
The other guy.
Or maybe because people's ideal relationships are kind of hard to get to, so
they're not real.
Yeah. So like you're saying, other people wanna achieve certain things on both sides before you actually get into that relationship. That's how
So you want to get to a certain stage in your life, basically.
Yeah.
You want to be
But
comfortable.
then, but then the question is like, when did that actually happen? So it's like,
But
I
what?
think there's landmarks. There are landmarks. Like,
Do you know-
probably landmarks. Yeah.
I really think I don't know if this works or not, but I think that people should be friends first, like proper friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't-
sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes you gotta be really like
Yeah, it
into
doesn't.
as just friends, and it's like you
Yeah,
just
it
can't
doesn't.
see like a relationship
Yeah.
afterwards.
And sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes you don't want to ruin that
Yeah,
relationship
definitely.
with that person.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? She gets me. So I'm gonna chat to her about all these problems. When I have a girl, then I come back to you
Yeah.
for advice. You're my go-to like friend who's actually a girl, and that's what a relationship is. And you're getting everything out of it, and it goes both ways. I think.
Yeah.
I
Have you
think
guys ever dated a friend before and fucked up that relationship?
Yep.
I have. It's not
Canada
nice.
do the first. Canada. Yeah, you can be open, man. What you saying? There's nothing to hide here, bro. Huh?
It's not nice. I have. My whole friendship got fucked.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
That's
And
what
I
happens.
regretted it
Yeah.
with my life. I was friends with this guy for like 10 years.
wow.
And yeah, it got fucked because I didn't know, like when you're dating someone, like you see a different side of them. It's strange.
Yeah.
You can be friends with someone and then as soon as you start dating, this other side
Switch.
comes out. And
That's
you're
because
like,
they're
wow.
presenting their best face.
Yeah.
Presenting their best face. You know what I mean? And that's what
Yeah,
it
the
is.
whole time.
Like, you know, I'm sure like with women, when you wake up in the morning, you're a different person to what you look like right now. I'm just saying. With men, it's pretty consistent. I'm just saying, you're a different person. So that friend of yours.
That was just shade.
Nah, it's not shade.
That wasn't
It's a
even
shade.
right.
It's not shade. I'm just saying. So you're presenting your best face. You're presenting your best face all the time. So you're almost like you're always on guard all the time. It's always okay. I've got dressed, whatever. I've brushed my teeth, I've brushed my hair,
Yeah.
whatever,
When
and I'm
you
ready
wake
to
up.
go. But then when you're in especially if you live in the same house, that's a completely different story.
Yeah, I think I was about to say that
You're
as
like,
well.
hold on a minute, I saw you yesterday, you looking 100, today you're wearing jalabia. What's going on? Situation becomes a little bit, but that's the reality of it. And then once you accept that, like you said, you accept the worst, then you know there can be a transformation.
Yeah.
So I think it also goes to like you were saying, I think the time you spend with each other, I think because when you're friends, you're not obliged to spend time with each other
Yeah,
most of the time. So it's
Yeah,
like when you're in a
true.
relationship, it's like you got
Definitely.
You're with them all
really,
the time, speaking
yeah.
to them.
So after a while, I can get a bit annoying. I would just, I guess, you were friends before. You can time
You
out.
test each other.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you can cut when
You
you
can time
want.
out. So like, you're in a relationship. I mean, obviously, you're supposed to engage with each other.
I think the true test is you live with a man or woman for like a year or 2 years, you'll know yourself. I don't care who you are. Once you get over that phase, this I'm talking from
Yeah.
personal experience.
Yeah,
That's
Once you
very
get
important.
I've never.
yeah,
lived
because
with
your
my
habits
partner.
as well.
Yeah.
Like you might
That's when you really get to
you
know
might be a
someone
super
when you're
clean
around them like
person. He might not be,
Yeah,
or he might be a super clean person, and then you're just leaving stuff all over the
Yeah,
place.
yeah,
so
yeah.
Picking
you
your toes.
yeah. Oh,
Like,
you know,
yeah,
don't pick your
definitely.
toes, no.
No, but I think that's really important.
That's true.
Because like I'm
You gotta-
very like
Specific with certain things,
like,
yeah.
just don't touch.
Yeah, don't touch- yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay, like, but then I make it clear, and then then you see all the habits coming out from
Yeah,
it.
or even like what you eat, you might do, like for example, you might drink, one person doesn't drink. One person might smoke occasionally, but you might hate that.
Yeah.
But now, when she gets stressed or he gets stressed, he doesn't smoke, but he'll stress from work, now he's going to the balcony smoking. You know what I mean? So you might be like, hold on man, why is he doing that? Why are you laughing? Is that you? No? But I'm just saying, there's different, like you've got to live with them for a period of time to really get to know that. And then after that period, like I said, I'm talking from experience.
Yeah.
After that period, then you're like, okay, cool. Now I can live with all your habits, or you can live with me, and I can live with her, and so on. And then once you get past that, then I guess everything else gets a little bit better. Then you can be like, okay, I need you to do such and such. And then the girl or the guy won't do certain things to frustrate you because they know you're going to be really pissed off or annoyed.